Alright, so I'm currently setting up the iPhone 16e and just holding it for the first few minutes. I like how this feels. It feels lighter. It just feels more simple than the iPhone 16 Pro that I'm switching from. Now, I'm currently doing a software update because apparently they didn't update the software before they shipped these out. So I need to do this before I get started with my day, but so far, I'm liking the feeling of this phone. I know this is technically downgrading, but so far, I'm really liking this, and this is really refreshing to just hold this phone and try something new. So I'm gonna wait until this downloads, and then we'll start using this phone. I'm excited. It honestly feels so weird carrying such a light phone since I'm used to the iPhone 16 Pro. I really didn't think I would notice a difference, but I definitely do on this iPhone 16e. Anyways, we started our day by going to our favorite breakfast place downtown. And of course, I paid with Apple Pay using the iPhone 16e. And while I was waiting, I went on X to catch up on some news and see what's going on. And yes, I'm addicted to X. It's a bad thing. I need to get better. But anyways, when I was on X, I noticed that the bezels are a lot thicker. For me personally, I noticed these small things than my iPhone 16 Pro. Like, I did notice that pretty much right away when I started using the iPhone 16e versus the iPhone 16 Pro. My girlfriend probably wouldn't notice, but I noticed. Anyways, our food just got here, and this is actually shot with the iPhone 16e to show you guys what it actually looks like, and it looks delicious. While recording those breakfast burritos, I noticed, and I kind of forgot that this only had one camera, so I can't do 0.5 zoom, which is what I'm using right now to record, which I realized that I actually use that quite a bit, so that's going to be something I have to get used to. We then went to our favorite coffee shop around the corner, and as you guys can see, while filming with the iPhone 16e, you cannot really see that much of the store versus if I was using the iPhone 16 Pro super wide angle, you will be able to see a lot more of what's going on in the shop. So that's something that I really did take for granted, is the super wide camera on the iPhone 16 Pro. Alright, so I just got back, and after using the iPhone 16e without a case, normally, when I get an iPhone, I don't really use a case that often, and that's because I want to feel the iPhone how it was intended to feel, and this iPhone 16e does feel different, and that is because it is built like an iPhone 14, like the previous super flat edges, which honestly makes it a little bit sharper to hold in the hand. Now again, the things that I'm picking out with this, most people probably don't care. Most people probably won't even notice because they'll have a case on their phone. But for me personally, since I'm not rocking a case with this phone and I'm feeling the natural, just how this phone feels, it does feel sharper than my iPhone 16 Pro. Because on the iPhone 16 Pro, the edges are slightly curved, which makes holding the phone a little bit more comfortable. Still does feel good, still does feel light, and I do like it. It still feels refreshing to hold, but for me personally, since I'm not rocking a case, it's a little bit sharper and it's just not as comfortable as my iPhone 16 Pro. But anyways, I'm gonna go to Phoenix right now because I'm gonna test drive the brand new Tesla Model Y. I've been looking for this because right now I'm carless. If you guys saw my previous videos, my Model 3 got totaled and I sold my Cybertruck. So this kinda is the car that I've been waiting for. So we're gonna go, and I'm actually going with King Plain Rock 124, and I'm gonna show him the iPhone 16e and see what he thinks. All right, just got to King's car. What do you think?
iPhone 16e waste.
Honestly, it is a pretty far drive to go from Flagstaff to Phoenix, but I've been wanting to test drive this car for a while now, and I really do think it might be my next new vehicle. So after a pretty long drive, we finally arrived at the Tesla store, and there it was, the brand new Tesla Model Y right in front of the store. And honestly, this looks way better in person than on photos and stuff like that you see on the internet. And just from looking at it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is probably gonna be my next vehicle. So anyways, after looking at the car for a little bit, I went ahead and went on my Tesla app, and my demo drive agreement was right on my iPhone 16e, which is super convenient when you're using anything Tesla. So after pressing accept and submit, it was finally time to check out the demo drive Tesla Model Y. All right, we're currently in one, 708 miles. So this has been driven. A lot of people have driven this car so far. All right, first time driving the new Model Y. Put it in gear.
Go fast over the speed bump. Test it out.
So while stepping in and messing around with the Tesla Model Y, it literally feels exactly like the Tesla Model 3 Highland, like my previous car. And so it felt very familiar, which I really did like because I love the new interior of the Tesla Model 3 and now Tesla Model Y. So I'm probably gonna do a full video of this demo drive and post it on YouTube by itself. And I think it would be too long to put in this video, so look out for that video coming up. But I was very impressed with the Tesla Model Y, and honestly, it made me want one even more. And then do you get a charger with this one?
I think, yeah.
Oh, what?
I think, yeah, the Founders Edition. You really missed out on the Founders Edition.
This.
Actually, can this open? Oh. I have a gift for you. I'm sorry your Tesla's totaled and you can't get the Founders Edition, which includes a charger. So I hope this kind of makes up.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
When you get another Tesla, if you buy the cheap one, it does have a charger.
What?
For you. Yeah.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. This
Happy
is not set up, by
birthday.
the way. It is actually my birthday.
Are you kidding?
No, my birthday's Sunday.
Okay.
So after the demo drive, we navigated to Mod Pizza, which is honestly a pretty good pizza spot, and we don't have one where we're at, so we decided to get some food before we left. And of course, I'm paying with Apple Pay on my iPhone 16e, which is always super convenient. And I also wanted to try the slow motion on the iPhone 16e to see what it would look like. And honestly, it looks pretty decent, but I forgot to turn it on to the highest setting, which is 1080 at 240 frames, but this was stuck on 720, 240 frames, so it doesn't look quite as good as it could be. So after eating, we headed back to Flagstaff, and honestly, that was a very long and far journey just to test drive a car. But again, I do not have a car right now, and that is what's on my radar. I would love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. All right, guys. So I've been using the iPhone 16e for a little while now, and I have some thoughts about this phone. Firstly, I just want to say that the battery life on this iPhone 16e is really good for being a budget iPhone. This is the best battery life that I've seen in this kind of form factor phone in a long time. My iPhone 16 Pro, I feel like, has worse battery life than my iPhone 16e. I don't know about the specs. I think the iPhone 16 Pro does have a little bit better. The battery life between these two phones, the iPhone 16 Pro, a $1,000 phone, and the iPhone 16e, a $600 phone, or $599, is pretty much the same. Like, I did not have an issue switching the iPhone 16e from the iPhone 16 Pro. I kind of noticed it lasted a little bit longer in general. And also, the camera, obviously there's only one camera on the iPhone 16e. It is kind of different to hold. Like, I usually rest my finger on this part of the iPhone 16 Pro, and that's kind of how I hold it one-handed, just like that. But with the iPhone 16e, it doesn't have that. It just has one little camera right there, and that's not really how I'm holding the device. I'm holding it kind of like this. Not having that extra support with my finger is very minimal, very, not a really big deal, but that is something that I know is holding this phone. It does feel different, and the grip is kind of not as much as my iPhone 16 Pro, which it's just a small minimal thing, doesn't really matter too much. And now the screen. I've been using it for a while now, and the screen on this, I was looking at my girlfriend's phone. My girlfriend has an iPhone 13, regular iPhone 13. I think that phone's 3 years old, a little bit more than 3 years old. And I'm pretty positive that has the same exact screen on the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 16e. The notch looks the same, it's 60 hertz. So having a 3+ year old screen on a brand new iPhone 16, this is technically an iPhone 16, is kind of underwhelming and wasn't that great to experience this phone coming from an iPhone 16 Pro. Because when I picked up and turned on my iPhone 16 Pro, I noticed a high refresh rate, slimmer bezels and everything like that. And it just feels like going to a dinosaur on the iPhone 16e. I'm pretty much buying a brand new iPhone 13, but with just updated specs, but it kind of feels exactly the same as my girlfriend's phone. Like, it looks very similar. The iPhone 13 actually has 2 cameras instead of 1. I know they did that dual camera system on this one camera, but it feels and it kind of works the same as the iPhone 13. Again, a 3.5-year-old phone. So yeah, that is kind of my experience with using the iPhone 16e. I think it is a good phone, but honestly, for the price tag on it, for me personally, if I was in the budget for a new phone and I had $600, that's it, I personally would buy probably a used or refurbished iPhone 15 or iPhone 15 Pro. Now, I know that doesn't have Apple Intelligence, it's not the newest iPhone, but you are getting, in my personal opinion, a better phone in general for most of the things that you do with your phone. So yeah, guys, that's my experience buying the cheapest iPhone 16 series. It is a good phone, but I think you could do a lot more with the $600 buying a refurbished phone or a used phone. That's just my opinion. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. See you guys in the next video. Peace.